What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Josh from Idiots with Headsets, and I would like to thank you all for stopping by to watch my review of Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Now, this is going to be a completely honest review. I am a Dragon Ball Z, I have been called a Dragon Ball Z fanboy, I am a Dragon Ball Z fanboy, but I will admit that this game has its amazing qualities and its not so great qualities. So, this is going to be a review on the good and the bad, so I hope you all enjoy your stay. And let's get into it, shall we? So, Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Dragon Ball Xenoverse is the latest installment in the Dragon Ball Z video games. It's a lot different than its predecessor, Battle of Z, and it has a lot of qualities from its predecessor, Battle of Z. One of the many qualities would be the fact that you can do more than two players, on a battlefield. You can do 3v3, 2v2, and 1v1. Although 1v1 kind of contradicts what I just said, so just forget I said that. Also, it has the same mechanics as Ultimate Tekenichi in the sense that you can create your own character, and instead of it just being a Saiyan, you can choose between 5 different races: the Namekian, the Saiyan, the Earthling, the Arcosian, and the 5th one escapes me. I forget what the 5th one was. I feel really stupid after that. But essentially, there's 5 different races, and you get to choose between the 5 different races and create your own character. Majin, that's right. And you can choose male and female for all races, except for the Arcosians, which is quite questionable and explains a lot about Frieza. Anyways, aside from that, I'm just going to be explaining the good and the bad about Dragon Ball Xenoverse. So, the good thing that I really enjoyed about this game, I have completed the game. I have 2 characters that are both level 80, a female Saiyan and a male Saiyan, and I'm working on my Arcosian to level 80. The thing that I like the most is the way the game plays. It plays a lot like Battle of Z in some aspects, but in other aspects it doesn't. This game is essentially what Battle of Z should have been. Now, in my opinion, Battle of Z was just a placeholder to hold us down until the real game came out, which was Dragon Ball Xenoverse. The game has a fantastic story. Compared to its predecessing Dragon Ball Z games, Raging Blast 1 and 2, Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit, Budokai Tekenichi, Budokai 3, I mean, all those games, great games. I noticed how I didn't even include Dragon Ball Ultimate Tekenichi in there. But all of those are great games, but they all told the same story. Not that there's anything wrong with the Dragon Ball Z story. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But after a while, it does get tiresome, even to the fans. So the fact that they went and took a new spin on this, created new characters for this game, such as the Supreme Kai of Time. Now, I know that this game was, like, little bits and pieces were taken from the online game, Dragon Ball Online. Such as Mira and Toa, I believe they were in the game, and they had a son in the game or something like that. I don't know. But the thing is that they took elements from the online game, and in the online game you could create your own character as well, and they put it into Dragon Ball Xenoverse, which was a great idea, because it adds diversity to the game. Not only that, it adds diversity to the game, and it allows you to play and fight the way you would want to play and fight. And it also gives you that sense of, like, what if? Like, if I was in Dragon Ball Z, what would my character look like if he was a Saiyan? What would my character look like if he was an Arcosian? What would my Earthling look like? What would my Majin look like? So you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying here. But the fact that they added a new story and gave us the ability to the ability to create our own characters instead of it just being a Saiyan is awesome. So that's that's 2 of the good qualities right there. Some other things of the good qualities. Now, people have said that this is a bad thing. I don't necessarily see this as a bad thing. I kind of see this as a interesting thing, if that makes sense. An interesting thing because in order to get more skills, you have to do either one of 2 things. You have to go talk to your mentor, you have to find a mentor, and you have to train with them. That's number 1. Or number 2, you have to do parallel quests. And everybody says, oh, it's so excruciating grinding out parallel quests. It's not really excruciating. If you have friends, like I normally do, 2 friends to do the parallel quest with you, it's a lot of fun. And even if you don't have friends to do it, you can always do online with parallel quests with random people, and then they can end up being your friends. But everybody's like, oh, it's such a grind fest that I have to play this mission over and over and over and over again to get Big Bang Attack, to get Kamehameha, to get Spirit Sword, to get the Z Sword. It's so excruciating, all the grinding that goes into this game. And I don't really see it as excruciating, because if you really do think about it for a minute, in Dragon Ball Z, nothing is a given. Like, certain characters may have been born with just latent powers, latent ability, latent talent, but overall it comes down to training and working hard and determination to better yourself in the show. So I kind of like the fact that you have to work hard to get the skills, so that you're not just overpowered to begin with. I kind of like the fact that you have to, wait a bit to get Spirit Sword, wait a bit to get Super Saiyan, wait a bit to unlock Kaioken, because when Goku fought Raditz, he didn't have Kaioken, right? So people were like, oh, I don't have Kaioken yet, why do I have these crappy attacks? I mean, come on. It adds a new dynamic to the game, and it gives everybody a chance in the game. So, in my opinion, I believe that having to work for your attacks, granted it may be tedious at sometimes, but whenever you finally get that attack, you feel like, oh, yes, like, I've done that, like, I've accomplished that, like, that time that I spent trying to get that skill, it paid off, because I have the skill, and you can see an improvement with your character. You can see how strong your character is, which is why leveling up is so important in this game. Doing hard parallel quests is such an important thing in this game, because when you level up, you can increase your character's stats. You can boost their attributes. You get 3 skill points every time you level up. You get to add those skill points to your health, to your stamina, which is, by the way, a very critical thing to have in this game. Your ki, your basic melee attacks. Like, this game is so diverse in terms of customization. Like, it's phenomenal. Now, there are some bad aspects to that, but I'll get to that near the end of the video, because I'm going to break it up into good and then bad. So I'm on the good right now, and then we'll get into the bad later on during the video. But the thing is that, like, the customization that you have in order to make your character stronger is great. And then when people complain about it, I'm like, well, whenever you guys complain and you guys finally get everything handed to you, there's like no replay value, because if you're just given everything off the start, then where's the fun in that? Like, having to work for something with your friends, having to trying to better yourself, to make yourself stronger with your friends, is what Dragon Ball Z was essentially all about. Goku and Krillin, and yes, I did say Krillin, and Yamcha in the beginning of Dragon Ball, trying to get stronger, to better themselves. Okay, and then it later became Gohan and Goku and Vegeta and Trunks, like, trying to better themselves in that regard, to make themselves stronger, is what Dragon Ball Z was all about. So I personally believe that the way that they have the game set up, and the aspect in which that you have to work with your friends, work with your teammates, and replay parallel quest missions to get the skills that you want, I feel that that's a great dynamic, and they did a really good job in that regard. So, no, I don't think that it's tedious. It may seem tedious at times whenever you've done a parallel quest about 10 times and it still hasn't dropped, but that's the fun part, because whenever it finally drops, you're just like, yes, like, finally, I finally have that one skill that I've been trying to get. I finally have, times 100 Big Bang Kamehameha, right? And then you go into a public match with some people, and you just wreck everything. You just pull out that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta move and just, bam, just kill everything. And it's a satisfying feeling whenever you finally see how strong you've gotten. And another thing, like, aside from just basically talking about the all-around gameplay, I want to talk about the hub world, because aside from Dragon Ball Online, which was an online Dragon Ball Z game, if you could not tell from the name, it was a game that was out in Japan. I don't know if it really came out in America. I think it was just mainly in Japan, and you had to, like, go through a lot of stuff to get it on your computer for America or something like that. I never got the chance to play it. I regret that now, though. But in that game, that was like the really only Dragon Ball Z game where you had like a hub world, so to speak. So you could like walk around. It was like the only free roam Dragon Ball Z game out there. But with the release of Xenoverse, you have the ability to essentially free roam in some aspects, such as Toki Toki City. I love the hub world, Toki Toki City as the hub world, because you get to walk around, you get to talk with your friends, you get to interact with people, you can do like the Ginyu Force poses with your friends. You can do the Great Saiyaman stances. You can do Frieza stance. You know, you can chat. You can ask for help, and you can also find mentors there to make yourself stronger. And you can also find skills there at the skill shop, such as Kamehameha, is where I bought my Kamehameha, the original charge-up one, not the ultimate attack, the super. That's where I bought Kaioken, because I admit I was getting frustrated because Kaioken would not drop for me, so I just bought it because it was there. And you also can buy items there. And items are very, very, very crucial, because as you can see in the gameplay here, whenever you're about to die, you can just pop a capsule, pop a molly, so to speak, and you can pop a capsule, and it will give either you full stamina, full ki, or full health, or it will give your health like a regen ability, or it will give you and your teammates health, or you and your teammates a regen ability, depending on what the capsule is. So you can buy those capsules from the item shop, and you can also buy different costumes to customize your creative character. You can buy accessories. You can buy well, you can't buy it, but you can do a parallel quest to find the Z sword. You can buy Yamcha's sword. You can buy a katana to put on your back. You can give yourself angel wings. You can give yourself a halo. There's so many different things you can do with this game, and the replay value is so awesome because it's been a long time since we've had such a really good Dragon Ball Z game. Now, is this the best Dragon Ball Z game? No. Is it a really good Dragon Ball Z game? Yes. I will say that this is probably the best Dragon Ball Z game that we've had in a long time. The best the most recent Dragon Ball Z game that I have played, which I think is good, is Raging Blast 2. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of like, Raging Blast 2? Really? But just hear me out. Battle of Z was a fun game. That was it. It was a fun game. A fun game to play with friends, because it introduced that more than one player on the battlefield, you know what I'm trying to say. The more than one player on the battlefield concept. And it was fun to play with your friends. And it was fun to, you know, collect the different cards to make your character stronger. You know, it was a fun game. But in content-wise, it kind of fell short. There wasn't much of a story. The story was kind of like through this like little chart that you had to go through to click on. And it grew a little tiresome because there wasn't really many combos that you could do. And there wasn't any vanishing out of combos. You just had to block and keep teleporting out of the way. And it became really boring. Like, I mean, it was a fun game. Yeah, but in terms of combos and in terms of all-around content, it really lacked in that regard. I platinumed the game. Me and my friends, we platinumed the game. As I said, it was a fun game, but in terms of content, it was just lacking for me. Now, Raging Blast 2, granted it had no story, but the combos you could do and the matches that you could have with your friends, even though it wasn't more than one, like 2v2 or 3v3, it was still a really fun game. So plus that was my first Dragon Ball Z game on the PS3, so I'm going to say that Raging Blast 2 is my all-around favorite game so far, aside from the Budokai Tenkaichi games. So, yeah, Raging Blast, Budokai Tenkaichi, Raging Blast 2, and then Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Now, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, what really gets me is the story. Because, as I said before, a lot of Dragon Ball Z games, they don't have an original story. Actually, none of them have an original story except for Ultimate Tenkaichi. And even then, that story wasn't very good because it revolved around GT. I don't even have to go into that. But the fact is that the way that they incorporated the story and the way how they incorporated, you know, what happened to Future Trunks after he got back from training with Goku and defeating the androids, it really answered a lot of questions. Like, especially a lot of what-if questions, like, you know, what would happen if Gohan never made it to Super Saiyan 2 to defeat Cell? What would happen if Kid Buu survived the Spirit Bomb? What would happen if Frieza survived survived getting cut in half or something like that. I forget how that happened in the story, because that was so like in the beginning of the story. But it had a lot of what if scenarios and a lot of questions that were answered as to what would happen if these scenarios did in fact happen. So I love how they incorporated the game. I love how they incorporated the combos, because you can do combos in this game. I've heard people say over 1,000 times, "Oh, this game has no combos. Like this game sucks. Like there's no combos in this game. Like what is a Dragon Ball Z game with no combos?" And as you can clearly see, my character can do combos. So that kind of contradicts what they're saying right there. And also another thing I've heard is people saying, especially on this game, I don't know what is going on with people in this game, but a lot of people are saying that this game's graphics suck. Do you really want realistic Dragon Ball Z graphics? We don't need another Dragon Ball Evolution. Like, that was bad enough. Now you want a game like Dragon Ball Evolution? You want a live action Dragon Ball Z game? Is that what you want? Well, I don't understand how you can say that the graphics suck. The graphics are derived off of the anime, so are you saying Dragon Ball Z sucks in general? So I don't understand. That doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, so that's really all I had to say for like the good aspects of this game. It has a lot of good combos that you can do with your characters. It has a lot of replay value that you can do, especially with your friends. I found myself enjoying a lot of matches with my friends, actually. I love the upgrade, the level up mechanic that it has, where you can level up your character, put skill points into your character to make your character stronger. That dynamic was awesome right there in of itself. And the fact that there's a hub world and you can meet other players, you can do Xenoverse poses with your, that's like a minuscule point, but it's a lot of fun to goof around with your friends in this game. You can lose yourself in a few good hours in this game, going completely straight without, you know, realizing, oh crap, I've spent like 5-10 whole day on this game. But yeah, overall it's a really good game. Now to get onto the bad qualities, because as I said, there's no such thing as the perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. If there was a formula for the perfect game, I guarantee you it would not be a formula for the perfect game, because there's so many different genres out there and so many different people who have different tastes and different things that they like. So that's kind of the same thing as taste, but what I may like may be different from what you may like, or what you may like. Just speaking to anyone who's watching this video, like what I may like and you may like may be two totally completely different things. So there's no such thing as the perfect game. So with that being said, let's get on to the bad things in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Now, the main issue for Dragon Ball Xenoverse is the servers. I've played since launch. I've played since launch on my PS4, and every time I do a mission, or every other time I'll do a mission, the game will kick me out. Every time I do a parallel quest mission, it'll say the Dragon Ball Xenoverse servers are unavailable, and then it will kick me out. It'll kick me out of the game and return me to the title screen. That's probably every so often, every 2 or 3 parallel quests, or every 2 or 3 story missions, that would happen. And it was honestly frustrating as heck. And that was in single player lobby. So you can only imagine the frustration of people trying to log into the multiplayer lobby, which I'm not going to lie, I had tried to log into several times. I made it in to the multiplayer lobby a couple times, and I can honestly say that I stayed in there for about 1 parallel quest, and then I got booted out and went straight back to the single lobby. But as of 3/10/2015, I tried to log into the multiplayer servers today to get footage of the error screen, and I didn't get it, and it put me right into the the multiplayer lobby. So then I was thinking, okay, maybe this is one of those few times whenever it actually worked. So then I logged out and tried again. It put me in right away. So I'm thinking that they patched the game, because I heard that that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to patch the servers so that you could be able to access multiplayer. So I think that they did, and if they did in fact patch that or fix the servers, then good on them, because that was one of my main issues with this game, the servers. So good on you guys. Good on you, Dimps, if you guys actually did fix those servers. I'm sure everybody who plays Xenoverse appreciates that, and yeah, let's hope that that doesn't happen to anybody again, because that was honestly irritating as balls. Alright, another thing that I really don't like is, destruction. Like, if you shoot somebody with a Gallic gun, right? A Gallic gun. The same Gallic gun that was going to be used to... I think that was Gallic gun. Anyways, Gallic gun and Kamehameha can blow up planets, so to speak. Now, whenever you shoot somebody with a Gallic gun and they jump up or after image out of it, and it hits the ground, or if it hits a wall, there'll just be a tiny little hole. There'll be a tiny little hole where the beam was, and then within like 2 to 3 seconds, it'll disappear. Like the hole will disappear. There's like no destruction compared to its predecessing Dragon Ball Z games, such as even Battle of Z. If you got punched through a wall or a building, the building would like fall apart. And fighting in the is it the Capsule Corp suburbs or something like that? Fighting in those suburbs, like I remember I threw a death ball at somebody and they hid behind a building and the building still stood there like, that death ball tickled. That death ball tickled. I'm like, so one of the main issues there is the environment destruction needs to be fixed. If they do plan, I highly doubt that that'll be like a patch or anything like that. So if they do make a Xenoverse sequel, then which was hinted to, if they do make a Xenoverse sequel, then then that's something that they should honestly look into. Environment destruction, because there is environment destruction in this game. Like if you shoot a Kamehameha and you hit a tree, then the tree will fall over and disappear and stuff like that. The tree won't come back, but gaping holes and stuff like that, like holes in a building, or holes in a wall, or holes into the ground, they'll come back like it never happened, and that's kind of frustrating, especially as Dragon Ball Z fans, because we know what these attacks are capable of, and seeing how the environment just brushes them off, it's kind of just like, like it's not that big of a problem. But if you're a true diehard Dragon Ball Z fan, you're just like, like they should have fixed that. Like they should have made it so that whenever I shoot, a giant death ball at a building, the building incinerates. But that's just me. Another bad thing about this game is spamming. Spamming is a freaking ridiculous thing, especially if you're a Saiyan. Oh my gosh, I have gameplay right here of a Saiyan spamming. It's actually me. I was showing you guys how overpowered it is, because in this game you have 2 bars. You have a key bar and you have a stamina bar. Yes, it's key, not Kai. Please stop saying Kai, God. The stamina bar is what you use to vanish out of attacks. So if you're getting punched, you can vanish behind your opponent that's punching you, and you can counter, so to speak. And that's what your stamina bar does. And it consumes 2 green bars of energy for your stamina bar to vanish. And your key bar is what you use to use your Gallic gun, your Big Bang attack, your Masenko, your Destructo Disc, your Death Beam. That's what that's what the key bar does. Now, spamming isn't as precedented and isn't as noticeably seen with Namekians or Arcosians or humans or Majins. Spamming is mostly seen with the Saiyans, and that's because Saiyans are overpowered as balls. And that's simply because whenever you're a Saiyan, and yes, I am going to start bashing my own race in a minute, whenever you're a Saiyan and you go Super Saiyan, you can spam the crap out of your ultimates with no consequences whatsoever. You could shoot, that giant death ball that Bills made in the Battle of Gods movie, that giant death ball? Well, if you train with Bills and you unlock that skill, you can literally shoot 5 of those without your key bar depleting. Granted, your key bar will deplete over a period of time, and whenever it runs out of natural causes, then you run out of stamina, and you can't move and you can't vanish, and it makes you a big target. But by that time, the opponent's health is like at a quarter of what it was, or like 75% of what it was. So, like, the spamming is so annoying in this game. Like, I've never really personally experienced it, but I've heard from my other friends that it's annoying trying to get into a match of verses and somebody, a Saiyan, just spamming Death Ball, just spamming Destructo Disc, just spamming Kamehameha, and those attacks do a lot of damage, especially if you have your skill tree outfitted for Ki Blasts. That's gonna do a lot of damage, and especially if you're a female Saiyan, you have Z assists more. And what a Z assist is if you have an ultimate attack from a mentor, like let's say you have Kamehameha and Goku's your mentor. If you fire that Kamehameha, giant Z, there's a chance that a giant blue Z will appear on the screen, and it's essentially like father-son Kamehameha. A like hologram, like outline of Goku will appear behind you, and it will help you do the Kamehameha, and it'll do like more damage than what it naturally should. So, and female Saiyans get that way too frequently than male Saiyans. It even says so whenever you're creating your character. So if you get those a lot in Goku or Beerus or whoever the heck is your mentor, and you keep getting that, you keep spamming that, like, that's overpowered as heck, honestly. Like, they need to, honestly, like, nerf the Saiyans. Maybe not in parallel quests, because I know that some of the parallel quests are hard. Some of those Horde missions are very difficult. So, maybe not for parallel quests, but maybe for PvP, they could nerf the Saiyans so that you can't, like, you have a limit as to how much you could spam. That'd be nice to see. And taking out capsules to use in PvP would probably be a good idea, because I can't tell you how many times I've had a player low, and then they just pop a capsule and their health starts regenning, and I just start getting ticked, and then they end up winning whenever I was about to win. So taking out capsules and taking out how much Saiyans can spam, that would be great, because the spamming in this game with the capsules and the female Saiyan's Z assist is just ridiculous. I cannot explain how ridiculous it is. But those are two of the main problems in this game that I would like to see fixed. If they would be willing to fix that, then good on them, because that'd be nice to see. But if they can, then you know we're either going to have to just deal with it and wait till Xenoverse 2, or hope that they patch it, which I doubt they will. So that's that. Another thing that I don't like is how long it takes to level up your mentor. I mean, I personally don't mind, but everybody's always complaining about their mentor and how long it takes, and you know, how it's so frustrating and irritating, you know, seeing your mentor just take forever, and it just gradually goes up, and it's just irritating. I'll do a separate video as to how to level up your mentor. I'll show you guys how to do that in a separate video. So if you guys would like to see that, I will upload that sometime later this week for you guys. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So that really covers really all of the really difficult stuff and annoying stuff in this game that I really wanted to cover. Like I said, the graphics, I mean, it's derived off the anime. I don't know how you can bash the graphics. It doesn't make any sense. The gameplay, if you're not used to Battle of Z and how Battle of Z played, or Raging Blast, or you've never played a Dragon Ball Z game in general, the controls are going to take you a while to understand. But if you've played Battle of Z or you've played Raging Blast, then the controls should come to you like such. I don't know why I keep stuttering. The controls should come to you like second nature. The controls aren't that difficult. It just takes a while to get used to. So, aside from that, there's nothing really that bad about Dragon Ball Xenoverse. I give Dragon Ball Xenoverse a 8 out of 10. I would give it a 9 out of 10 if they fix those problems. I give it an 8 out of 10 currently, because some of those problems are still relevant and around, aside from the network issues. I don't know about the network issues, so if they honestly did get the network issues fixed, I change my score to an 8.5 out of 10. Dragon Ball Xenoverse is a great game to play with friends. It has a rich new story, which is refreshing to Dragon Ball Z fans. It goes in depth to a lot of what-if scenarios and explains what happened to one of my favorite characters after he returned back to the future, or Future Trunks. So it was nice to see him again, and to see him have such a critical role in the story with your creative character. One final thing I would like to touch on, though, is the fact that your created character does not speak in the game. I wouldn't call that necessarily a bad thing. I would just say that it's something that they could just look into for, maybe the second game. Like when you're in a cutscene and Trunks will talk to you, he'll be like, "Do you want to go?" or "Do you want to go and help Goku?" or something like that, or "Help my father, Vegeta?" Like your character will just look at him and then he'll nod, or like he'll put a thumbs up, or he'll just like, like give like a smirk, like yeah. Yet whenever you're in parallel quest or PvP or doing story missions, you fire an ultimate attack, your character will say, Kamehameha, Destructo Disc, Special Beam Cannon, Masenko. So your character does have a voice, it's just that your voice was not incorporated to say like more than one word, which doesn't make any sense, but it's not really anything annoying. I could live without it. The game was enjoyable, even without that. So yeah, my rating still stands at an 8.5, 8.0. 8.5 if they did fix the servers. So yeah, just something that they need to look out for in like the second game. If they want to make the character talk, that'd be enjoyable. To hear my my created character speak, that would be a nice dynamic. So as previously stated, Dragon Ball Xenoverse is a fun game to play with friends. It's a very enjoyable game, and it makes you have to work for things like you would have to in the actual show, and it makes you feel like you're actually a part of the Dragon Ball Z storyline, Dragon Ball Z history, which is a great job. They made it feel natural, and it worked, in my opinion. So Dragon Ball Xenoverse receives an 8.0 without the servers fixed, and an 8.5 out of 10 with the servers fixed. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please be sure to leave a like. Please be sure to leave a comment and let me know what you thought of this video. And if you do not mind, please subscribe and join the Idiots with Headsets Army. Yes, I'm calling ourselves an army now, because we are an army. We're an army of two. See what I did there? I just referenced an old game. I know. So, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. It helps us grow as YouTubers, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse.